Hey, there you are. Welcome to another non-live feed. We still got to do some more greasy stuff on the Traveler collection here before we can bring these 4 Travelers in the house. We got to do some messy stuff out here. So without further ado, let's get going on this 63 Black Traveler. I still haven't gotten the cranks in yet. They're right there. I tightened the bejeebies out of this already in the vise, so we don't make that same mistake I made. And we do have a few other parts for it we'll chuck on. We got some bars over there and stuff. But let's pound these races in real quick like. It's my show and I don't take any crap. There was this Saturday Night Live thing I just watched. It was like a spoof on the Gibbs brothers, and it was like the Barry Gibbs talk show on Saturday Night Live from the 80s. If you get a chance, you should tune into that. It's pretty funny. Barry Gibbs comes on and he says, the first thing he says is, welcome to the Barry Gibbs talk show. It's my show and I don't take any crap. He like goes off on people. And most of the show, his pretend guests, I think it's Fallon and Timberlake doing it, but his pretend guests keep trying to talk, and he's just like, he just talks over him and goes off on him the whole show, and then the show's over. Anyway, if you're into sarcastic SNL humor, it's a pretty good skit. Anyway, these are nice and clean. Less talk, more work. These cones are nice and clean. I cleaned them up. They're in good shape. We're going to pound them in here with a bronze hammer. Oh, do that in a second. There we go. There's one. Something just fell off the bike when I was pounding on it. It is the piece that goes right here for the fender and the brake. Yeah, that was embarrassing. It fell off the bike. Okay. Let me jostle the camera around as usual. And this bike just came as a frame and fork and chain guard, so I had to supply all this stuff. And the reason I smack my hand against it is it helps it go in. It helps absorb some of the shock. It's not great for your hand, but There we go. They're in. You can always tell that sound when it drives it home. All right, let's put some grease in there. Quit messing around. And today's flavor grease is brand new. Because we do things right here. Faulkner fixes all. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I know I've been promising a live feed, but I got to do this messy stuff in the shop. I can do this in the house, but it's just really no fun cleaning up afterwards. 12:30 at night, the dogs are like walking around licking grease off the floor. It's just, you gotta take care of your little furry friends. You can't have them like trying to eat bike cable ends and stuff. They're pretty good dogs, but they don't understand about what is edible and what's not edible in the bike world. And anyway, you don't want your dogs eating stuff off the ground. It's my show. It's my show, and I don't take any crap. If you guys get a chance, you should check that out. Okay, so we got the cones greased up there, Sonny. It's looking good. That's a lot of grease, but hey, we're gonna ride a lot, right? Both sides, nice clean cones, nice clean fresh grease. All right, these have been dipped and blown out, and they're nice. That's super tight on there. I made sure. There's that. Okay, we'll pop it in. We'll get ready with the other parts. I already tested this gear, and it's in good shape, and it's not too warped. you know, I mean, for a used Schwinn that's from 62 years old, from 63 to now. Yeah, that's old. All right, let's pop this in. You guys still here? Yes, you are. Where would you go? Where would you possibly go? This is it. This is the only show that matters. It's my show. I don't take any crap. Okay, so we can quickly come over here where that falls out. Scoop some of this extra grease that came off. I should put you on this side, and I will in a moment. Just let me secure this so it'll stay in, and then I'll switch you over. Okay, it's in there. Let's wipe that off. Let's put my hands off first. And we'll switch you over here to this side. Yeah, a friend of mine just contacted me. An old bike riding friend. And I was saying in the comments, I wish I had some videos of those old bike rides we used to do back in the day. Don't think they would be very PC though. It's not something I could put on the channel, I think. Okay, left-hand thread, so we're pretending to, can you see? We're pretending to videotape it. Okay, you guys can see. Left-hand thread. Push this in. Pretend to loosen it. It's left-hand thread on cranks. But not on the other retaining for the gear. When you tighten up the gear on the cranks, it's right-hand thread. Okay, we're getting there. Come on now. We've got stuff to do. It's one of the last cold days, it looks like, so I thought I was doing some art frames out here earlier for my wife, and I thought I would just come out and bust a move on this because, I mean, this is too messy. I mean, it's not that bad, but you know, you want your living room to be nice. If you go thrash your living room, then you're going to hear about it. Okay, I don't usually put grease on this because there's enough that's been captured on here, but it looks, since I wiped it all off, I'll just be safe and put some on there. So we put a little in there. And let's file this edge real quick and just make sure that that's happy. I always do that. Yeah, we always do that. Yeah, it took a little off. This seems a little bent. Is there a better one? Yeah, that one seemed a little bent. This one isn't as bent. I was sighting down it and it was concave looking. So we're going to switch over to this one. And see, it took a little off there. You want that to be real nice. Okay. Let's pop this on. And we're going to put this on. And left-hand thread. Pretend to loosen it, and you will tighten it. Not bad. We'll put the final on that right now, because we can't be messing around. We got stuff to do. Loosen it up a little. It always seems to tighten a little bit when you tighten the bolt. So you should probably have it a little bit loose. Oops, wrong way. Oh, that was the right way. Let's start right here, which is a little loose. And by the time we tighten it up, stand to our advantage. That's what we do. That's too tight. Dang it. Okay. Yep, it's too tight. That's why they give you those little edges on the bearing cone adjuster, so you can adjust it. All right, let's tighten it up and see what we got from there. Yeah, I think that's good. Oh yeah, that's as good as we're gonna get. Very little play back and forth like this. Sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. Let's put the kickstand. Let's put the. We could put the chain guard on. Yeah, we should before we lose all the bolts. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put the chain guard back on. First, we'll check this play here. How this gear is. Oh man, that's probably as good as the day Schwinn put it on there. If you look at the distance here, that's not bad at all. That's a good gear. Very little run out. Maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Yeah, I'll go for that all day. Okay, let's put the chain guard on so I don't lose the bolts. Okay. I had a subscriber recently. I don't know if he was joking or not. But he said, I like long videos with lots of talk. I was like, wow, you are probably in the right place. I like lengthy videos where there's lots of dialogue. I don't know if he was joking around or seems like he was pretty serious, but so he's in the right spot. All right, on this back bolt, I always put this back bolt back in the frame. When I take the chain guard off, I almost always put this back in the frame to safe keep it. So I'm going to put some grease on this too. Just because if you lose one of these, it's a problem. You know, these look like a normal thread. But when you go to the hardware store, the thread is a little bit different. Like Schwinn set their thread making machines, or wherever they got these from, it was just kind of like what the machinist felt like that day. This rivet's kind of loose. We're going to have to adjust that. I think we're going to have to address this rivet. This is just to chuck it on and not lose the bolts. Yeah, we're going to have to. Oh, actually, that's not bad. All right. It was just how Schwinn threaded it that day or something. I'm not sure. Every time I ever went to the hardware store and tried to find one of those, and I'm sure someone's going to chime in, oh, that's a 9/32 fine thread, blah, blah, blah. Every time I've ever went to get one, it didn't work. It was too tight. So, if you're undoing a Schwinn chain guard, just put it back in there, even if the chain guard's not on. Like this bike. You guys have seen this bike. You know, I put it back in there. Just so you know it's there. If you just throw that in your bolt tray, you know, you could lose it. And then you go to the hardware store, and guess what? I don't care what people say. You go to the hardware store, and it's like, yes, this is the right thread, and you try to put it in there, and it's kind of tight. It goes in, but it's not a happy thing. Okay, let's put the back brake on. No, let's not. Let's go over here and do some bar stuff. Okay, we're back over here to the bench. You guys having fun yet? Okay, so what we got is these are a pair of 67 bars, stamped 67. They are wrong for this bike. They should be the smaller size, but this is what we got. There's heavy rust here and heavy rust there. These came off of a 74 Girls Collegiate that was brown. There's heavy rust here on the top, and that's visible. This rust is on the bottom where you don't look. So guess what pair I'm going to use? Okay, and this is the wrong stem. This is a stem so you can have shifters. The twin sticks go up here and you can shift because it was a Suburban. It wasn't a Collegiate, it was a Suburban. So we're going to take this off, and you can see I already got this pinch bolt nice and greasy. And we're going to undo this, grease this bolt, slide this off, put it on the new bars, and put it on that bike. Don't you just love it? Parting out girls' bikes all day long. Dude, I hate to. But, I don't know. That's the way of Schwinn collectors. That's the way of life. All right, let's put some grease on that right now. We should wire brush it, but we won't. Okay. Okay, so that's ready to go back in. And if we're lucky, that'll slide right off, but it won't. Take a screwdriver, a decent one, pop it in there, crunch it, and then you can get it off with one hand, see? Because you've pressurized that open. Now, yeah, I probably should have, well, I never use these, but these are just whatever. If I shined this all up, it would still be very rusty right there, but not rusty underneath. I might bring these to Fred and have him dip them and see how they come out. But for the meantime, we're putting these on. Huh, these look a little bent. I don't know, those look a little bent. They are, they're bent. Oh man. Okay, well those are bent. Plan B, a quick shine on the old crappy ones and go from there. Here at Faulkner Messes Up All. We mess things up all the time. Well, you know, at least these 74 bars will stay with the right stem, right? Yeah, those are bent. I didn't realize that. I did not see that. All right, we're going to make it right, though, folks. We are going to make it right. Now, let's get that off. But let's put this bolt back on. We'll lose it, and it'll be gone forever. If I can. I'm big on putting bolts back in where they go so you're not losing them. Okay, so now that'll be there. All right, so let's do a quick shine on these because they're not bent. And here's the deal. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, this side's bent in. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but when you look down here, this side is bent in. I can fix it and bend it back, but not today. We're just going to do a quick shine-a-roo on these suckers and chuck them in. And we'll do the rest of the shining on the bike. The only place you have to shine right now that you can't get to is right here. You can do the rest when it's on the bike and you have leverage. So we did what we could right there. There's a little bit. Oh, steel wool, not good. It's double, quadruple aught, don't worry. Okay, so we shined this part up because we can right now. And this ain't gonna come undone. That's pretty bad. We'll hit it anyway. That's always going to be there. That's okay. Let's put it back together. I made a mistake. Those bars are bent, and these ones are not. So this can go back on. Here we go, screwdriver. And in. And here is the bolt we already greased with a nice washer on it. It can go back in. And this is the same thing. If you go get a 5/16 fine bolt because you lost this, it doesn't fit. It's not the Schwinn. It is not the Schwinn thread. It looks like it. People say it is, but it's not. Something to do with the way the Schwinn factory pitched the machine that day. Okay, so we're going to put some grease on this because I know I've been through this part already. We're going to put some grease on this and make it nice. So this is basically going in. Okay, that's probably way too much. That's an insane amount of grease. Yeah, that's way too much. Okay, so another thing, these 70s Schwinn stems don't fit very well in the pre-65 or so bikes. They're a little loose. So this may be just a temporary thing until I find the right stem. They don't fit that great. They're a little wobbly, but this is what we got for now until I find the right stem. I could use a stem. There's a little shim you can use and put in there, but I'm not big on those. I'll find the right stem. But for now, it's in there. It can be a rider. You know, we can just go from there. Wrong stem, wrong bars. And, man, what's going on with my heater? There we go. Okay, so let's wipe off this excess. And let's put the brake lever on, because we can. Just a rusty old eye poker. They call this the eye poker because when you fell down on your Stingray, it would poke you in the eye. And then they had this style, which was the safety version, so you wouldn't get poked in the eye or some other orify. The eye poker. Anyway, I'm one short. Fred, where's those ones you promised? You were supposed to go get those for me. Anyway, Fred, you know, look, I have to put something dangerous on this bike. Oh no, the ones he has. Hey, Fred, where's those eye pokers? I need them. Anyway, so I need some more of these. Fred said he was going to get some from this bike guy that was going out of business. And, yeah, snap, Fred. Come on now. Anyway, let's pop this on, and we'll probably do the back brake first. And I always put the back brake on the right side because we're not in England. And we will put that on there, and fortunately there's these nice rust marks where it went, so we know it goes there. Yeah. Let's pop you around. Let's pop you around here. I know this video is getting a little long in the tooth, and we're about to snap it up and be done, but we'll get one more thing on, and then we're going to call it until the live feed. I'm just getting some of this messy stuff done so I don't have to do this in the house. It's always kind of, it's rough on the dogs, and I have to clean up afterwards. Not that I don't have to clean up out here, but it's not as difficult of a time, you know, it's not as pressing as your living room is completely filled with bikes and grease and junk and rusty stuff, you know. Yeah, it's just not such a priority. Okay, that's on. That's good. And you can see the little rust mark where it's always been right there. It's always been there. You can always tell, like over here, see the rust mark on the chrome. That's where it goes. So just slide it onto there and tighten it up. Then you know the grip will fit. Oh, by the way, I did clean these white grips up for the red bike, and they came out pretty good for just soaking them in a little bleachy, soapy water for 5 or 6 days. I could clean them up a little more, but they came out pretty good. They go on that red bike there. I don't have any for this yet. Okay, so let's put the back brake on, and then we'll kind of call it. You know, I got stuff to do. I got other things to do. I do like working on bikes, though. You guys know that. All right, let's put this back brake on. And the problem with this back brake, this bike's kind of turning into a little Frankenstein special. This is the back brake that came off that red Traveler over there that was wrong. And the adjustment was up too high. But it'll work for now until I find a Schwinn approved one. Now what I could do, I could take this Schwinn approved 2.8 apart, this front brake. I could take this apart and put it on this spindle. Then I would have a Schwinn approved rear brake. But why? This is for the front and it's all ready to go. It's ready to go, except this quick release has to go. We don't need this quick release where we're going. We're going to put a normal one in there. That's for a 10-speed or a racing road bike or something. We will save that, but that's not something we're going to use where we're going with this bike. So I could switch this over and make it right, but why? It's all ready to go on the front. Why make more work? We have this non-Schwinn approved Weinmann, and I believe it's 890 millimeters. Is the same as the 2.4, something like that. I'm sure this measurement is the same as the Schwinn measurement, but it's a little bit long here in the tooth. The pads go way up to the top, but we can use it for now. So let's pop this back in that fell out, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we got that spacer in. This, I'm just gonna have to go somewhere else for a second. I don't know where. Maybe down here. I don't want to mess up anything. Yeah, that'll be okay. Okay, let's pop the brake in. And we need a 10 millimeter for that, I think. And this one's ready to go. It's pretty good, except it's not Schwinn approved. So that's the problem. All right, let's put this little lock. You should have a new one of these, but this blue stuff in here is still pretty good. The little locking plastic in there. All right, let's get a 10 mil and kind of tighten that up just to keep it on the bike. So yeah, we're not, this isn't the final everything on this. This is just to get it running and to get it in the living room for the live feed, which I keep promising. It's just one of the messier, tedious things that have to be done. And, you know, the cranks are in now, which is nice. This back brake will be on. I've got a lever for it over there. So all I have to do is bug Fred for my levers that he didn't bring over here. He did break some rims over here. Yeah, Fred's all right. Okay, so what do we got here? Yeah, so the adjustment on these where the pad goes is a little high. They'll work. It's not the end of the world. They do go on and they do catch the rim, but it's just not quite there. I'm sure if you converted 890 millimeters to 2.8 inches, it would be a different size. I mean, that's 2.8. It's not, you know, it's not 2 3/4. I don't know why Schwinn did that, but more precise, I guess. I'm sure if you converted this, you can even see, looking at them, that they're a bit higher. And I could, I could switch these over to this is the front. I could switch these over, but these are bent badly. I'm not going to use those. I think that's about as far as we're going to get today, folks. Stay tuned. I have been promising the Schwinn Traveler Bonanza. A 63, a 60, another 63, and another... Oh, that's a 61, isn't it? I forget. Let's look real quick. I forgot. There's so many Travelers. No, they're at 63. Yeah, it's funny. Yep. So what we have is 3 1963 Travelers and 1 1960. So stay tuned. I promise there will be a live feed. We will bring all these in the house. The messy stuff is almost done. You know, bear with me. We don't want World War III to break out. Here's some more parts. That's the red chain guard. This is the stainless fender for the red one. I think I'm just going to find a chrome one for this one because the back is chrome. And if you've been watching some of the videos, you know that these are just shop wheels, so I can stand it up on the kickstand. I got to come up with some wheels. I do actually have wheels. I have some spare S5 rims up here, but I have to string them up. So that's another whole issue. And this black one may end up as a Traveler coaster brake because I'm kind of low on 3-speed hubs that actually work. To find a 3-speed hub that doesn't sound like a meat grinder when you're riding it, they're getting hard to deal with. Like, they used to be a dime a dozen, but to find a good 3-speed hub that isn't completely wore out, that needs a lot of parts and time and maintenance, it's getting rare. This one may be a coaster brake bike. Hey, we did pretty good. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And as always, you know, it's the good people in the world that run the show. We have the power. We're good. Think good thoughts, man. Okay, peace out.